following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, I'm Eric Colby, editor at BoatTEST.com, and in this video we're going to conduct a performance evaluation and a features inspection of the new Coastal 30 from Eastern Boats. Eastern has been building Downeast-style boats in New Hampshire for 40 years, and the Coastal is something of a departure with its new bottom design. Previous Eastern models, like the 248 Islander, have had a sharp, tall bow and a rounded chine with a flat running surface. On the other hand, the Coastal 30 has a bottom similar to today's center and dual consoles with a flared bow, deep V design, 4 strakes, and reverse chines. Eastern is quite proud of the results of the new boat, so let's check out her performance. The Coastal 30 has a length overall of 29 feet 6 inches, a beam of 11 feet, and a hull draft of 22 inches. With an empty weight of 11,000 pounds, 162.5 gallons of fuel, no water, 2 people, and test equipment on board, we had an estimated test weight of 13,004 pounds. Our test boat was powered by twin 250 horsepower Honda BF 250 outboards, turning 14 1/4 by 17 3-blade stainless steel props through a 2-to-1 reduction. At 6,400 RPM, we hit our top speed of 42.2 miles per hour. Best cruise came at 5,500 RPM, where we measured 36.3 miles per hour and burned 26.6 gallons per hour. This gave us 1.4 miles per gallon and a range of 399 statute miles, with 10% of the boat's 325-gallon fuel capacity held in reserve. At 650 RPM, the boat ran 2.8 miles per hour and burned 1 gallon per hour, giving her a rating of 2.8 miles per gallon. Bump up to 1,000 RPM, and the speed goes up to 5 miles per hour, with a fuel burn of 1.6 gallons per hour and 3.1 miles per gallon. In acceleration tests, the Coastal 30 planed and reached 20 miles per hour in 6.5 seconds and ran through 30 miles per hour in 11.4 seconds. In maneuvers, our test boat carved through sweeping turns like she's on a rail and crossed our photo boat's wakes with ease. When the time came to pull alongside the dock, the optional bow thruster made the task effortless. Now let's take a look at the features, starting at the stern. The aluminum outboard bracket is also the swim platform, and it measures 94 inches wide and 34 inches front to back. All the hoses and wires for the engines pass cleanly through fittings in the transom. A gate to starboard opens inboard for entry to the cockpit, which measures 110 inches wide and 56 inches fore to aft. The cockpit is finished in SIDEDECKS matte for sure footing. In each aft corner are hawse holes that lead to 10-inch cleats, and just ahead are combination rod and beverage holders, plus a fold-up cleat for fenders. In the center of the transom, a hatch opens to provide access to the battery switches and circuit breakers. The Coastal 30 is the first outboard-powered boat Eastern has built in this size range, and the builder takes full advantage of the space that would previously have been occupied by diesel inboards on the company's 31 and 35-foot CASCO bay models. There's space to store the folding deck chair and excellent access to equipment like the batteries, inverter, charger, and fuel water separators. Steps in the gunnel on each side make it easy to head forward on the side decks that are 11 inches wide aft and spread out to 14 inches wide at the bow. There's another 10-inch wide cleat in the side deck that we'd like to see swapped out for a pull-up version. Rails on top of the pilot house are appreciated, and the waste outlet and fuel and water fills are in the starboard deck, just outboard of the sliding window alongside the helm, so the captain can see when pulling up to a pump location. Bow rails are 2 feet off the deck. On the foredeck, the center is raised to provide more headroom for the cabin below. There's a bollard-style cleat abaft the windlass with chocks outboard on each side. Back in the cockpit, to port is an aft-facing seat that measures 39 inches wide, 23 inches fore to aft, and has an 18-inch tall backrest. There's storage in the base, and the bottom cushion snaps in place so it won't blow out. A tilt-out wastebasket adds a convenient touch, and to starboard, the galley has a stainless steel sink recessed into a countertop that has 625 square inches of prep area. I'd like to see a fiddle rail to retain spills. The joinery work on the teak drawers is indicative of Eastern's craftsmanship, and just ahead is a Dometic refrigerator. For boaters in northern climates, curtains snap in place to create a fully enclosed pilot house. Across to port are a lounge and a table where passengers can grab a bite under the protection of the hardtop. All the side windows slide open and have screens. Forward, the companion seat has an adjustable backrest and measures 51 inches wide. In the port forward corner, a grab rail is cleverly integrated into the counter, plus there's a teak rail just ahead. To let in fresh air on a hot day, the port windshield can be partially opened and held in position with stanchions that secure in place. The high-back captain's chair at the helm has a fold-up bolster, and it can slide fore and aft. The armrests also fold up. The helm has a SIMRAD multifunction display up top. Below are the Optimus control pad, the SIMRAD autopilot, the trim tab panel with built-in indicators, Honda tachometers with scroll-through displays, and the windlass control. The Optimus joystick comes in handy for docking, and the SIMRAD remote lets the captain scroll through chart plotter functions. Honda's intelligent shift and throttle digital controls are outboard to starboard. Entry to the Coastal 30's cabin is via a two-piece hatch. The cabin entry opening is 45 inches tall and 17 inches wide, and a rail provides security while descending the removable stairs. One benefit of the new hull design is the interior volume. There's 6 feet 9 inches of maximum headroom in the foyer area. 2 steps to port make it easier to get into the V-berth that measures 79 inches long and 67 inches across at its widest. A rail creates a long, shallow shelf to port. Outboard to starboard is storage and lockers and drawers, plus another shelf with a rail on top. The overhead deck hatch lets in natural light and has a screen so it can remain open to let in fresh air. A provisions locker in the base of the V-berth opens with 2 barrel bolts, and inside are the Dometic air conditioner and 2 shelves that are more than 7 feet long. Height inside the compartment is 42 inches. At the foot of the V-berth is the door to the private head. Inside there's a mirror, a sink, a toilet, and storage. And here's something we don't see on most 30-foot boats, a separate shower stall. Headroom in this area is 6 feet 3 inches, and there are 2 Lomar opening ports to rid the area of steam. Across from the head to port is a hanging locker that's 53 inches tall and 28 inches deep. Teak rails on top create another shelf, and there are 2 more opening ports. The aft cabin has a berth that's 74 inches wide and 54 inches fore to aft. There's a single light and a screened port. Eastern's new Coastal 30 should appeal to boaters who enjoy cruising in all seasons, as well as myriad activities on the water. Twin outboards enhance the boat's versatility. She has space for fishing or entertaining with plenty of seating, and below deck she sleeps 4 quite comfortably. And don't forget the voluminous storage throughout. And that's my full test and features inspection. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Eric Colby.